And we are live. What is going on, everybody? Welcome to my review for tonight's edition of Monday Night Raw. We are going to break down and talk about everything that took place on the August 26th, 2019 edition of Raw. If you're tuning in, thank you for tuning in here to youtube.com/DanielGiza412. Your boy up here, Daniel Giza, breaking down everything that took place on Raw tonight, which took place from New Orleans, Louisiana, from the Smoothie King Center. And I have to say, after last week's pretty damn good episode of Raw, WWE did a fantastic job, I felt, in dropping the ball and just giving us a boring, lackluster, and really not that memorable episode of Raw. I felt like there was some good stuff when it came to the third hour, but for the most part, I was tuning in and out of this show. I don't know about you guys, but I was kind of bored for most of the show. So don't be surprised if this review doesn't go too long. I mean, I'll hit on the highlights because there was some stuff that I did like on the show, but for the most part, this just felt like a run-of-the-mill episode of Raw, and I was just like, you guys really had some momentum coming out of last week's show with King of the Ring starting, whatnot. You know, the Sasha Banks, Becky Lynch feud, the stuff with Bray Wyatt, and it just felt like this week, it was just like, we're just going to do an episode. We just got to get through it. And I'm just like, tonight's episode could have been so much more. So, with that being said, let's dive right into the beginning of Raw here. So we kick things off here with Sasha Banks. She comes down. We finally get to get into her mind and know why she did what she did. Why did she attack Natalya? Why did she leave? She talked about, everybody was talking about how she threw the rumors backstage, where that she threw a hissy fit on the floor, how she was crying after WrestleMania, how she couldn't care less about defending the tag team titles, how she was jealous of Becky Lynch main eventing WrestleMania against Ronda Rousey, and Sasha came back to work but waited for the right moment, and the moment to capitalize was when Natalya was talking about going on and on in the ring, talking about her father, and Banks is now the center of attention, as should be. Before Sasha can finish out here, Natalya comes down to the ring, cuts her off, tackles her. Officials have to separate them. I thought Sasha's promo was kind of a little clunky, a little awkward. I don't know, it just felt like something was off in this promo. I mean, I don't know what it was. At first I liked the promo, but then I went back and, I was watching, I was just like, I don't know what it was. Just to me, something kind of felt off. I don't know about you guys watching out there. And like I said, be sure to participate in the live chat. What did you think about the Sasha Banks promo? I thought the match later on with her and Natalya, I thought was better. Much better. Where Sasha beat Natalya decisively, locking in the Banks statement, and then afterwards beat down Natalya. So I did like that. But as far as Sasha's promo, kind of felt a little flat to me. I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but be that as it may, what didn't fall flat, certainly one of the highlights of this episode of Raw, was the King of the Ring first round action, Ricochet versus Drew McIntyre. A lot of craziness in this match, from McIntyre reversing Ricochet out of the Rana into the Alabama Slammer. Ricochet caught McIntyre with the Northern Light suplex. McIntyre tried to go for the Claymore. Ricochet super kicked Drew McIntyre towards the end of the match. McIntyre jumped off the top rope, hit the recoil. Ricochet went back up top, hits the 630 for the win, and Ricochet advances into the second round of the King of the Ring tournament. That certainly surprised me. I did not see Ricochet advancing into the second round. Did not see that happening, guys. McIntyre was my pick to probably win this tournament. So really surprised to see the fact that Drew McIntyre was eliminated from the King of the Ring tournament this early. So it makes me wonder what they're going to do with Drew McIntyre. Be that as it may, we'll see where that goes. And then we head backstage. Braun Strowman challenged Seth Rollins for the Universal Championship, and Rollins accepted. So it's official. It's going to be Braun Strowman versus Seth Rollins at Clash of Champions for the Universal Championship. Now, I'll let you know my thoughts on this. I'm kind of torn because I'm like, oh yeah, Braun's getting another title opportunity, but I'm just like, I don't think he's going to win. So to me, you're just going to do, Braun's been damaged in the past where he's challenged for, the top title, the Universal title. And then he lost to Lesnar. It's just like, if he's not going to win the title, to me it doesn't really make much sense to have him challenge for the title. I certainly don't see Seth dropping that title, especially, after beating Brock Lesnar here at SummerSlam, several weeks ago. So to me, as a still a fan of Strowman, but he's really cooled off in his momentum. I don't see him winning that title at SummerSlam, and then I feel like you're just back to where you were with him beforehand. So, like I said, we had another King of the Ring round 1 match. The Miz versus Baron Corbin. Corbin hits the end of the days for the win. Really nothing too much to write home here about. Corbin advances, cuts a promo and says he doesn't give a damn what the WWE Universe says. Nobody wants him to win King of the Ring, and Corbin doesn't care what we think. Bayley versus Nikki Cross. Bayley hits the diving elbow for the win. Why is the SmackDown Women's Champion wrestling on Raw? Can anybody explain that to me? I don't like that. I am so sick to death of this wild card rule bullshit, because that's what it is. It just, to me, waters down the brand split, and it makes me, and I don't care. Speaking of not caring, this is when I really, decided I'm going to do my workout during this match. Tag Team Turmoil match. The Viking Raiders versus the B Team versus Hawkins and Ryder versus the OC versus Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode versus Heavy Machinery versus the Revival versus the Lucha House Party. The winner gets a Raw Tag Team title shot. Strowman and Rollins are the Raw Tag Team champions. We all know that. They won the titles last week. So who's going to face them at Clash of Champions? Why, none other than the team, the random pairing of Robert Roode and Dolph Ziggler. So, out of all these, teams that have been, have experience, have teamed with each other month after month after month, like teams like the Revival, and the OC and Viking Raiders were both eliminated, being due to the fact that they were disqualified. Ref couldn't get control of it. So you're telling me that Robert Roode and Dolph Ziggler, a team that just began tonight, were able to beat all these other tag teams? Yeah, that's some BS right there. I'm just like, and to me this just felt like filling time for the sake of filling time. Like I said, it was just like, let's do this Tag Team Turmoil match. It should take up about 30 minutes of the show, pal. Shouldn't have to worry about too much other shit on this show. I'm just like, at this point, I kind of tuned out. Although I have to say, Cedric Alexander and Cesaro, that was a good match. I thought Cedric had a good showing here. You can obviously tell, apparently rumors are backstage that Heyman is high on Cedric.